Are we recording? Yes. Are we picking up my mic audio this time? Yes, we are. Okay, good. That means that I can do my intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for week 7, the final week of the GLCC Monotype Draft League, at least the regular season, and we are hoping that this week we are going to clinch our playoff spot after failing to do so last week against Curb. We are going to attempt to do so up against Lostlotl and his Twinleaf Town Turtwigs, which is a monotype psychic team. And so, getting into the matchup here, you can see that there is a Iron Boulder, which is going to be very, very scary, in addition to some other powerful threats. You can never count out Jirachi with its flinches and capability to set up rocks. Thunder Wave, it has some pretty good coverage too, in like Ice Punch, Earthquake, I think. Maybe Earth Power, I'm not sure, but it has a lot of coverage, so that's going to be pretty scary. You do also have to watch out for that Tera Espeon, Tera Delphox. Both of them do have Tera Fairy, which, seeing as I'm a dragon team, is not the best. And then, of course, there is the Necrozma that you can see towards the bottom there. Always got to worry about that. It has a very outstanding ability that allows it to take less damage from super effective hits, so who knows if that's going to come into play as well. Looking forward to this battle against Lostlotl though. Lostlotl and I started draft at about the same time, and we were both in the Lana division in JJDL Season 2, and we started building together, like just helping each other make teams, prep games, and talk about games after they happened. We've been doing that pretty much since the start of that season all the way up until now, and this is the first time that we are playing each other. And so I haven't seen him prep, he hasn't seen me prep, and so we don't really know what we're doing necessarily. But anyways, this match has a lot of playoff implications. As I said earlier, I'm looking to clinch. Lostlotl has clinched, but currently in the standings, I believe he's only one spot above me, and so there's actually a very high likelihood, since I believe he's 4th and I'm 5th right now, there's a very high likelihood that we play each other immediately the next game in the first round of the playoffs. And so that's going to make prep for this game a little bit hairy, because I want to save some tech in case that does happen. So with that being said, starting out the team here, going into the monotype psychic team, we of course had to bring Ash, the Roaring Moon, just rocking out with an expert belt this time. There's probably some more useful items for this, but not too sure. I prepped this pretty much all in one day, as I've been very, very busy with finals. In addition, I'm also editing my week 6 video today, and I'm going to be editing this video that I'm currently recording today, so a whole lot of Mons type stuff ready for me to accomplish here. And so yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a busy day for me. Anyways though, we've got Knockoff, Earthquake, Dragon Dance to set up, as well as U-Turn. I'm hoping that maybe I can U-turn around and he'll figure that I'm choiced and just getting some high rolls with Expert Belt maybe. But yeah, there's a pretty good chance that if I get a DD up, that this guy can do some serious damage, unless of course we see that Iron Boulder come and it's going to be booster speed, in which case it'll still outspeed us. In addition, we have Rook with a Choppleberry. This is our main check to that Iron Boulder. We have, let's see, Foul Play, Draco Meteor, Steel Beam, and Thunder Wave. So Foul Play is pretty interesting. I didn't know that this guy got it, but now that I do, it's definitely going to one-shot that Iron Boulder. We also have Steel Beam to do just big damage to something, Thunder Wave to punish some switch-ins in case he wants to switch around the Archaludon here, and then Draco Meteor for some good general stab. And we have some crazy EVs, 8 EVs into speed, just so that we don't speed tie with Indeedee. If it is no speed investment, we should always outspeed. In addition, the rest of the EVs just allow us to best handle Iron Boulder while also being semi-specially defensive, considering Psychic is mostly a special attacking type. And then we also have those 16 special attack EVs just to hit a tiny bit harder. Next up, we have Raging Bolt Solus holding leftovers. This time we are another sort of pivoty set, but a lot more offensive. So as you can see, we do have the little bit of EVs into defense and HP and a significant amount into special defense, but we have maximum special attack with a modest nature. I'm hoping that Thunderclap can put in some work here on some of his faster threats that are going to get set up. We also have T-Bolt, Dragon Tail to stop setup on this thing, as well as Volt Switch. So a pretty standard set here with leftovers. Next up, we have Flygon Jackal holding a Life Orb. Obviously, with the U-turn and first impression being super effective, I decided to go with a more offensive item in Life Orb. We also have Agility, which should outspeed Iron Boulder after I use it. I believe I have speed creep for that. Everything else just went into attack and then the rest into defense. In addition, Lostlotl's team is pretty weak to ground, so there's going to be some key threats like breaking through things like Galarian Slowking, Jirachi, things like that, that Earthquake should be able to handle, and hopefully with that stab boost, it'll definitely help us out. And then second to last here, we have Smoke the Dragalge with leftovers. I wasn't too excited about bringing a poison type into the monotype psychic matchup, but we can always Tera Steel. I'd like to sort of avoid that if possible. Like if it becomes apparent that I'm going to get attacked, then I'll probably Tera, or maybe I'll Tera early anyways, just because I need to switch into some psychic type attacks here, and Tera Steel is going to be a very nice switch in. We're mostly Spadef with a little bit of defense again, with a pretty standard set. Sludge Wave to hit those Tera Fairy Pokemon that are going to be hairy for our team to deal with. Other than that, just some momentum, Dragon Tail again to stop setup, and Draco Meteor because it goes burr. Next up, we have Valkyrie the Cyclozar. This is going to be our remover. There's I guess a decent enough chance, seeing as Lostlotl knows that I don't want to bring Dragalge into this monotype psychic matchup. There's a decent chance, I think, that he actually goes T-Spikes. And so we have Boots, Rapid Spin, Cyclozar here. And then we are also very, very offensive. As you can see, we have Shift Gear and Knockoff, as well as U-Turn just to get some pivoting with max attack Jolly. So again, we should be able to outspeed Iron Boulder, if I'm not mistaken, after a Shift Gear. And that includes the booster speed calc. It did before, I don't think I mentioned it. But then Knockoff is just going to be for making some progress and hitting everything with some pretty heavy dark type damage. And then yeah, U-turn again just for some momentum. So that's going to be the team that we're bringing against Lostlotl this week. We'll see if we end up playing him once more in the playoff bracket. It's fairly likely, it's not certain yet, but just in case we do, I do have a few ideas in the back of my mind as for what to bring in case things go south with this build. But time will tell if that's going to matter. So for now, let's just go ahead and get straight into the battle. I will see you guys there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for week 7 of the GLCC, and we are here against the one, the only, the Chimecho expert, dare I say, Mr. Lostlotl himself. One of the greatest friends that I've met so far through the Draft League scene. He did bring pretty much everything scary into me. I was not expecting that Indeedee. I was more so expecting an Espeon. Interesting. So maybe this Indeedee is here to sort of stop Priority, considering that Priority is one win condition I have against the Iron Boulder booster speed, or against like Agility on Latias. So there's some pretty scary implications when you consider that. So let's see. What do I want to lead off with here? I think that it is okay for me to just immediately like lead Jackal and U-turn. I reveal that I'm Life Orb early, which isn't outstanding. But yeah, I think that that's decent. Oh, they're saying hi, YouTube. I think that that's pretty decent, so I might just go ahead and do that. Is there anything that can really one-shot me here? It's going to be the Latias, rather. That's a little bit scary. Or do I want to lead Cyclozar instead, maybe for that reason. I think that that might also be a pretty decent play. I could also just lead Roaring Moon in U-turn at this point. The issue is if he leads with a Scarfmon, then I can instantly, immediately lose everything. And yes, my mic is plugged in. Yes, I double checked. I had to make sure. Didn't want another screw up like last week. Oh yeah, I think that may just be my lead, is actually just to go with the Cyclozar instead, because I don't want to risk Roaring Moon to a Scarfer. I'm much more okay risking Cyclozar. And I think that I'd rather keep my Life Orb tech on Jackal a little bit more hidden. So let's just go ahead and click Cyclozar here. It looks like Lostlotl is still also going to be thinking of what to lead with. I can see Indeedee, I can see Necro, I can see Glowking, I can see Latios. There's a lot of different options for him as well. I don't think he's going to lead the Delphox or the Iron Boulder. I think the Iron Boulder is going to be late game. So we'll see what he decides to pick here in a little bit. But yeah, if it's Necrozma, then I think that I'm actually going to U-turn here. Yeah, so we do see the Necrozma come out here. I'm 99% sure that this guy does not get any ice moves, but I'm going to check just to make sure here. Let's see, let's scroll through Necrozma's moves here. Brick Break could hit Cyclozar. Do we see any fairy, any ice moves? Doesn't look like it has either, which is outstanding. So maybe this guy is just here to set up some stealth rocks. I think then my play is to just U-turn. It could be weakness policy. Should I worry about weakness policy? Do I want to shift gear here? Does this thing ever like kill me? Yeah, Photon Geyser does like up to 89, wow, with max special attack Timid. So if he's Modest, then that has a chance to kill. And I definitely don't love that. Yeah, so I think that maybe I should just go ahead and U-turn out and preserve Cyclozar for another day. So that's what I'm going to click here. He's debating about something though, which is quite scary. That does a whole 21%. Big chip. And that means that this is going to be a bulky variant of Necrozma. Let's see, what if I just give it max HP? Then 21 is still not a possible roll. So this is Fizz Def Necrozma. Something to keep in mind here. How much does Solus do? T-Bolt does a pretty nice amount. But then if it's like Outrage at +1, it does do a really good chunk back to me. And so I think the play here is actually to go into Jackal. And then if I need to, what I'll do is I just U-turn again. Right? Because I don't think this thing ever kills Jackal, right? Ooh, after one Dragon Dance, actually it might. I'm a little worried about this now. This could just be an instant sack off lead for me here, which isn't great. Maybe I should have knocked off there just to gain some more information about its set. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's just go into Raging Bolt here and see what he clicks. It's going to be Dragon Pulse, and that does hurt. Leftovers for the Necrozma here. Let's just go ahead and Volt Switch out, I think is my play here. He has no ground type on his team, which means that this Raging Bolt can freely click its electric moves here. Are you taking my shtick for taking long? No, I'm thinking. I think that what I'm gonna do is just full switch on this guy. We see Calm Mind. Uh-oh. Okay, so that did not do a ton. Yeah, this is going to be pretty tough, actually, to break. Dragon Pulse does negligible damage to my Roaring Moon, which is good. Even at +1, it does, well, not negligible. It does 79 maximum. And so if you're Colbur, I think that I do still do all right against you. And yeah, this should kill most of the time. Unless it's Colbur, of course. Let's go ahead and lock in a knock off here. We'll see what item it's been holding. Or no, it's not Colbur. Of course it's not Colbur because it's holding leftovers. So this should kill most of the time, if not all of the time. He has to be like almost max in order to live this. Let's see. Yeah, that's if he's not natured. If he's natured, then he can throw some EVs elsewhere, which that's maybe what he's doing. But he should still never kill me, which is great. Those 72 Spadef EVs that I threw into Roaring Moon are coming in clutch here. We'll see what he decides to do here. Does he want to sack this thing? And I mean, he doesn't have the information that I'm Expert Belt, which is great. And so without Expert Belt, of course, I would actually not kill here most of the time. Actually, all of the time, I don't think I would ever kill here. I would have to be adamant. So with the Expert Belt, yes, we do end up killing, which is great. So one threat is out of the way here, and we take about half on Raging Bolt to boot. So now let's see. Delphox is out. Delphox could be Scarf, which is not great. So I'm guessing it's going to go ahead and Tera Fairy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go hard into Dragalge. I think that this is always my play. There's no way you click a Psychic move right now predicting my Dragalge, right? There's no way. Surely not. Even worse would be like Psy Shock or something. Yeah, let's see what this decides to go for. Tera Fairy, Dazzling Gleam. Not too much damage at all. So now what do I do here? Yeah, so Psyshock actually does have a pretty nice roll to kill. Actually, let's see about that Dazzling Gleam. Damage. It was Tera Fairy. Let's throw that into the calc. And that looks like it's actually going to be pretty decent damage. About a what you would expect from a pretty high roll from a timid Delphox. And so what this means, I think, is that I can just freely click Sludge Wave and yeah, no, not freely at all, huh? Because Psyshock might just kill me. Does he run Psyshock is the question. If he does, then I think that that's gonna be good prep on his part. He could also just switch out here, which would lead me to believe that I should actually go ahead and flip turn. I kind of wish I was Toxic now over Dragon Tail to punish switches. Tera Fairy, Dazzling Gleam into my Roaring Moon that's normally faster than this, I believe. Yeah, it is normally faster. It does make me feel like maybe there's a possibility that this could also be Scarf. So I'm just going to throw off my Sludge Wave here as we see Slowking come out. That's going to do not very much damage at all. The Slowking reveal an item? No. Okay, so we're not Sludge or Leftovers on this. We could be Colbur, something like that. But what I'm gonna do is actually, I should be faster, right? Am I faster? I'm not faster. Crap. So if this thing sets up a T-Spike, that's not outstanding for me. Do I want to Tera Steel now? I don't know if I do, because I make myself rather weak to Delphox. Like as soon as Delphox comes in again, then it might just claim a kill unless it's like choiced and it has to deal with that mind game. If this is a non-invested Slowking, it doesn't actually do too much with Psychic. I think I'm willing to take that, to eat that damage and not Terastalize, because he may also just end up clicking Flamethrower, predicting me. And so I'm just gonna flip turn out, and on this we can go Flygon, I think, and U-turn on an incoming Latios or something like that, because he should want to keep this relatively healthy, I think. I could also maybe go Cyclizar and start knocking off again. Or even better, maybe Roaring Moon. Maybe I should have brought Earthquake on Roaring Moon instead of a Dragon type move, but I did want to punish the Latios a little bit, or the Latios. I keep saying Latios because I'm too used to Latios. It's on my team. Elected to not bring it this match because I don't think it provided too much. There's a lot of Pokemon that I could have brought to this match, like Gouging Fire, for instance, does pretty well into this team. I think that Appleton as well also does decently. Latios can do decently, but I elected to bring these 6 instead. And we'll see what Lostlotl decides to do here. Okay, so I am faster, which is good to know. I think that I want to go Jackal then, because he could be Thunder Waving me, right? He could also just be Chilly Receptioning, which would be fine. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and go into you. What are we doing? Ice Beam. Oh, oh my god. Well, that sucked. So there goes one of my ways that I'm trying to beat Boulder. I should have just gone Raging Bolt, I guess. Interesting. Well, that bites. Let's see then about what we should do in response. That's really tough. I'm gonna have a really bad time breaking this now without Earthquake on anything else. Do I want to go into Raging Bolt then? I mean, I just don't think I have any great answers for this, really. Does Ice Beam take out my Cyclizar too? It may, depending on what item it is. Knock off should do a lot though, so I think this is my play here. I can just do this and click knock off, but that was not what I was hoping to see out of Slowking here. That's a good bring on Lostlotl's part. I forget that Slowking gets a lot of coverage. It gets Flamethrower, which is why I didn't want to Tera Steel, but it also gets Ice Beam. And of course, it has those other moves to punish switches as well, like Chilly Reception to get momentum back on its side, as well as Thunder Wave to slow things down, which is why I was more or less inclined to go into Flygon. So got that play wrong, unfortunately, and that's going to cost me an entire Jackal, which is really bad. So now I think this puts a lot of pressure on Archaludon, and he does reveal Colbur, which kind of sucks. Okay. So now the question is, would I want to take an Ice Beam now? I think I'm okay with giving Cyclizar up at this point. The issue is he just regenerates everything back, which sucks. But I don't know what else to really switch in on this. Does Dragalge eat one? Dragalge takes up to 33. So maybe I do that instead. Oh yeah, Dragalge should be fine. And hopefully he doesn't click a Psychic move. Alright, here we go. And we Chilly Reception out. So he's going to regenerate that back. This is going to be a huge problem for us late game. I already know. And that's going to be really bad for us late game. I genuinely think that I can't beat this now. I should have put Earthquake on frickin' Roaring Moon instead. Okay, and we see the Iron Boulder come out, and it's not gonna be booster speed. Interesting. Right then. So, I mean, it can click Earthquake, right? Yeah, I can click Earthquake here and do some big damage to me whether I terrestrialize or not. Is it just like Scarf or Choice Band then? I mean, I don't think this ever kills me unless it's banded. Do I just take my damage? That could be good. Do I need Dragalge for anything else, really? I mean, I'd love to have it around for Delphox and for some of the other stuff, but I feel like I just need to take my damage while I can. This thing gets agility too, which could be quite bad. Does Raging Bolt perhaps kill after a Draco Meteor with Thunderclap? There's a world where it does, but it's not likely. I kind of do just want to sack. Or I could maybe go Hard Arch. Maybe Hard Arch is an option because, let's see here. If I go Archaludon, Earthquake still hits me for a crap ton, which sucks. Yeah, I think I just kind of have to take damage on this because eliminating this is going to be good for me late game. The problem is, of course, going to be like if this is potentially like Healing Wish, Indeedee, something like that, then maybe it's not worth it. But I think I do just have to take my damage here. Let's do it. We see Earthquake, and that's going to be banded, I'm pretty sure. So that's alright with me. What do I want to do then instead? I don't have a lot of answers to Earthquake on this, and it's going to be banned, which means that Archaludon suffers more damage than I had initially planned. Yikes. Well, I guess maybe my play is to go into Arch and click Steel Beam. This thing does still, unfortunately, outspeed my whole team. I think this is my only play, and then if he switches, then that's a problem. So maybe I actually just T-Wave on a switch in order to not give up any HP. I think that's what I'm gonna do. If we miss this T-Wave, then we almost guaranteed immediately lose, which sucks. But I think this is still the correct play. I know it's in, like, it's choiced into Earthquake here, and so Flygon would have made this very different. I could instantly just go into it since it has Levitate, and now most of my team is. And yes, he does just make the correct read and go into Slowking here. I don't have any more great switch-ins to Ice Beam, which sucks. And I do negative damage to this. I think maybe I just have to go Moon. Does Solus take some? Yeah, Solus can take 2. It's no, it can't. It can't take 2. Maybe with leftovers it can. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it actually can take 2 with leftovers. So this, I think, is my play. If he chilies, he chilies. Flamethrower. Why? I'm curious. Interesting. I feel like Ice Beam was always a safer click here. Well, that's pretty intriguing. And then now I think, do I want to Volt Switch? I mean, Volt Switch doesn't really make a ton of progress here, but what it does do is it allows me to maybe go into Roaring Moon afterwards, who does eat an Ice Beam from this. And I believe I still kill, even though this is itemless. Knockoff on itemless Glowking with the Expert Belt does 80 to 94.9% into the Smogon spread. And I do know it's a little bit more Fizz Death, but hopefully with this Volt Switch it should be enough damage. And so I think this is actually my play here. We'll see if he does end up switching what we're gonna do then, because I think that he can't really switch into Boulder now because I just go Arch again. If he switches into Lottie, then I think I also no, I might go Cyclizar to scout for Scarf first. If he goes into Delphox, then I think that I can go into... Okay, he doesn't go into Delphox here. He just stays in. And so I would have to think that he's chilling or ice beaming. But I feel like this has to be Ice Beam kills me. I don't want to risk it. I think this has to be Roaring Moon still. Hopefully he's not Ice Beaming. Okay, he is just chilling. This does allow him to go into a potential Scarfer, as well as a potential Iron Boulder. Iron Boulder could be bad for me right now. Obviously, it can't click a Psychic move into me, but there's a pretty high chance that this guy is carrying Close Combat, and that's why we're Chople on Archaludon. Yeah, such a long game, and it has only been 12 turns. It feels like it's been an eternity, man. We started this game at 3 p.m. and it's now 3:45, so yeah, been quite a while here playing against Lostlotl. Also would have been really hype if he got parried right there. If he got parried right there, then I would definitely just go ahead and set up a Dragon Dance. And we do see the Delphox. Damn. Damn it. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to live a hit from Delphox. Oh my goodness, I am Earthquake. Wait, what? I thought it was a Dragon move. Oh well, I guess that's actually nice. So we do have another chance to break Glowking, but now I wish I was Ironhead, to be frank. So that's not great. Go ahead and throw this Delphox back in. It seemed to be pretty regularly invested into special attack and everything like that. The only issue is I don't outspeed, and it's a fairy type. Or no, I do outspeed, but it's a fairy type is what I meant to say here. So if this is going to be Tera Blast, it kills me. I think that in this position, I have to go Soulless, which sucks, because I lose another form of priority I have. It's my only other form of priority, but I think this is my play. Because surely you just click, yeah, Degleam, and that's actually going to take me out here. Interesting. So now that I've sacked that, what am I doing here? That's the real question. Maybe I should have also been Ironhead on Cyclizar. I think I have to do this and just click Knock Off though. Cyclizar's not too valuable anymore, and hopefully it's not Scarf and I can knock off whatever item it is and just sort of maybe if it's like a boosting item, then get rid of that. He could also be worried about Ironhead and maybe goes into Slowking, which would be kind of rough for me as well, but I don't really think I can play around that. Maybe I should have kept Dragalge a little bit safer instead of going for damage on Boulder. Because, okay, we see Indeedee. Knockoff here is going to do a bit. We knock off a Citrus Berry, which is outstanding. That's actually really good. That's really good. And then the question is, do I want to shift gear? Psychic has a decent chance to kill me. Let's see if I can figure anything out about this Indeedee spread. Yeah, looks like it's actually going to be incredibly defensive again. And so what I want to do then with that information is I want to shift gear. Oh, and reflect. Damn, that sucks. Fuck. Okay, well, this is not great for me. I have to hope that it doesn't have a move to kill me here, essentially. And Dazzling Gleam should kill me if it decides to go for it. Or maybe not. It depends on his investment, I guess. If it's also like expanding force, that could be bad. If I shift gear one more time, is there a world where I kill this through the screen? If this is light clay, that's... Or no, it's not light clay. It's not light clay because I knocked off the item earlier. And this is like almost max defense indeedy here. And I'm at +1 attack now. I do up to 45 on a max roll. Do I have to take that? Do I have to take that? That sucks. I don't want to take that. That's a bad roll. Wait. Oh my gosh, this could be so bad. I think I have to shift gear again. Because I have to bank on the fact that since he's almost maximum defense, certainly based on how much damage I did, unless I like hit a crazy min roll or something like that, I have to bank on the fact that Dazzling Gleam doesn't kill me and he doesn't have expanding force. It's a very interesting game though, coming down to the wire here. I want to, even if I do end up going down, I want to take off a couple more Mons on the side of Lostlotl's side for my differential, because obviously in order to clinch playoffs, I don't have to win here, since I still have a 4-2 record, but I do need a high enough diff, and it's currently +9 before this battle. So if I get 5-0'd here, then that only puts me down to +4, which is not exactly inspiring for the playoffs necessarily. He stays in. We baton pass. Ooh. We baton pass. Okay, so I outspeed like everything now, which is outstanding. Does he go Glow King? I'm also at ×2 attack now. I wonder if Cyclozar can pull anything off here. This thing is not physically defensive, is it? Man, yeah, see, the bad thing here is knockoff only does half. This reflect is really annoying, and it's up for 3 turns. I think I just have to go for the damage while I'm set up. Okay, so we get rid of the band. We go down here though. Not exactly what you love to see. And Roaring Moon still dies, so I have to do this. And I have to predict Glow King to come in, right? Which means I have to go Hard Moon. So this could lose me the game here, which sucks. And that's gonna be rough. I could also maybe Draco, but I think I have to go Hard Moon and then Dragon Dance on an incoming Glow King. Surely he knows I can kill him from this range. I mean, there's also a case for not doing that because he could just opt to close combat me here. But without the Choice Band and with the Choppleberry, Berry, it won't actually kill me. The thing is, he doesn't know that I'm Chopple, and so close combat here probably looks fairly free to him. And he didn't switch. Ah, I got the turn wrong. Oh, I lived. What? I mean, it doesn't matter, but that's crazy. How did I live? How in the world? Wait, what? Oh, he's not max attack Choice Band. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. So now I have to go hard Arch again. I got that play wrong, and it's gonna cost me a lot of damage here, which sucks. Fortunately enough, he doesn't have priority on the rest of his team. CC's gonna do not too much to me, and now we get a boost here in defense. Now I think I have to make the same play. He should switch here. Fearing T-Wave. Right? I get a second chance here because Roaring Moon lived that. Oh, maybe this is a dumb play and I'll think about it down the road and realize that it is. But yeah, I think this is like the only way that I ever win this game is to go Roaring Moon on Slowking and then DD on something. I don't know. I can't even DD now. I'm too low. Ice Beam kills me, so I have to hope he gets para'd. Do I just take my damage here and try and save diff? That seems kind of lame. I mean, I'm losing this game anyways. I think that that's actually the best thing I can do in order to guarantee myself in playoffs. I don't think I can win this game anymore, so unfortunately, yeah, I'm just gonna play for diff. I'm just gonna play for diff, which sucks. And that would start with me T-waving, so Roaring Moon's faster. And he CC's again. Alright. Now we'll foul play. I may be faster than this now. I think I am. Yeah, I should be. So foul play is going to pick up a KO here unless he switches. Yeah, that goes down, which is great. But yeah, I mean, Delphox should just come in, and I'm assuming it's going to be Scarf, and so it's just going to clean house, which sucks. I don't OHKO it ever, so this game is wrapped up. I'm probably going to lose here without getting another kill. Unfortunate for sure. Might go ahead and just click Steel Beam for the funnies. Yeah, I guess that makes sense from Lostlotl's perspective, that he can just CC me as I was hard switching into Roaring Moon. That's probably a mistake on my part. Let's go ahead and what do I want to do here? I think I have to T-Wave here if I ever want to win this game, which isn't likely. But I have to hope like Fire Blast misses or something, or just Tera Blast probably just kills me from here anyways. I mean, like, oh yeah, that'll kill me. That works too. Yikes. So now I have to hope for the biggest of Earthquake critical hits on the rest of these Pokemon, right? And it's not going to happen. Alright, well, that's going to be a wrap. We lose to Lostlotl here, but we make it a 4-0 instead. GG's to him. Very well prepped on his part. I think that I prepped decently, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like off lead, I was just in a losing position over and over and over again. And so maybe I'm going to have to reconsider my team composition a little bit. Losing Flygon that early to Ice Beam on Glowking was a huge like factor in me not having any more switch-ins into this the choice locked Earthquake, which, yeah, that's not exactly great. But there you go. That was an hour-long battle against Lostlotl, and unfortunately we only are able to take 2 Mons off of him, which sucks. So hopefully we'll still be able to make playoffs here. It's going to depend on how the rest of the games this week end up going. I mean, yeah, the matchup was just not exactly my favorite. I basically had to get Roaring Moon in at some point and click Dragon Dance. I wonder if I should just lead with it next time. I guess that would have to be what I do, and maybe not play so foolishly with it at the end. I still had an out. Yeah, I guess I should always just T-Wave in the event that Iron Boulder stays in, because obviously since it was choiced, it wasn't sub or anything like that. I think that I probably should have just T-Waved on Archaludon, but oh well. That's alright. We'll look into that at the end of the video in the breakdown of what happened here. GG's to Lostlotl again, though. Can't take that away from him. He played that quite well indeed. And hopefully I will see him once again in playoffs for the rematch, now that I know sort of what he is able to bring into my team. So until then, I will see you guys in the next section. Alright, that was a long battle against Lostlotl, and ultimately we went down 4-0. So unfortunate little bit of a losing streak to close out the season. But I think that this matchup was pretty tough. Obviously Iron Boulder outspeeds my whole team, which is I guess why it felt pretty safe going Scarf. And then yeah, some good prep on Indeedee as well with the Reflect. That's the thing about Mono Psychic, is that almost every single Pokemon gets screens, and I guess it can be said for a wide variety of Pokemon. Like, screens are pretty heavily distributed, but in this matchup it ended up mattering a lot. So yeah, that's a little bit, just too bad so sad type deal, but it is what it is. I can't take that away from Lostlotl. It is good prep given the tools that he has to work with. So congratulations to him for picking up the win. This should push him into a minimum of 4th or 3rd, I think, overall. And after doing the math, I'm pretty sure that the furthest I can fall is all the way down to 8th. And so that does still guarantee me in playoffs. So I'm 99% sure that I'm in. But if I am 8th, then I'm going to have to face the 1st place team. If I'm 7th, then I'll have to play the 2nd, which is not great, given that the teams up there are very, very good. And one of the teams up there happens to be Surblue, who is the person that absolutely rocked me using Beartic in week 2 with that Mono Ice team. And so that's going to be a really poor matchup for me if I end up having to go immediately in and face off against him. But assuming that he wins out in the bracket and I win out in the bracket, then we would have had to face each other anyways. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It just affects how far I am perceived to get. So that's all right. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and watch this game back. I'll go ahead and play this without some sound here. And immediately off lead, I was like, okay, I know Necro is a possibility, but I wasn't too sure how to lead against it. That was probably something I should have planned a little bit better. But again, I built this team earlier today, and I'm recording this literally right after the battle happened. So yeah, I didn't really plan too meticulously around every single lead scenario, anything like that. But I was really worried here about weakness policy, Dragon Dance, Necrozma here, because with the speed boost, this guy kind of just wrecks my whole team, right? It gets pretty nice coverage, given that it's just a monotype Psychic Mon, and of course Photon Geyser can go physical or special, depending on what stat is higher. So it could have been a physical attacking Dragon Dance weakness policy guy, and that would have been really bad. And so fortunately I U-turn here, and it isn't that set. But we do see Dragon Pulse come out, and it's going to do half to Solus, which isn't exactly great. So maybe next time I should go more into Spadef here. We do see the Calm Mind and a Volt Switch as I go out into Roaring Moon. And from here, I know that I'm in Expert Belt range, which is great. Yeah, and so I end up killing that, and he's wondering how he was in range there. At this point, then I can just go into Dragalge as he Terra Fairies on the Delphox. Switch out here as I Sludge Wave. I think at this point I probably should have just flip turned, as I end up doing now. If I did that, then obviously Delphox was probably going to switch out there, considering it's most likely his hard check into Roaring Moon. And so had I just flip turned on the possibility that it switched out, which it did, then I would be able to get Flygon in not only safely, but I would actually have it alive, because since I didn't flip turn that turn, and I did so on the following turn, now this thing has a move, and of course it's running Ice Beam, which sucks. I was preparing for Thunder Wave, anything like that, to come out and punish me, and so I decided to go into the thing that offensively threatens this the most, and I get completely punished. I completely forgot that this guy gets Ice Beam, to be fair. I was also considering what if he flamethrowers me, considering that I could Terra Steel. But yeah, Ice Beam was definitely the correct play given the moves that he had, which I'm not too sure what they were. I decided to not look at his paste in the event that we may play each other in playoffs. But yeah, Ice Beam was a very nice bring and a very nice click in that instance, as I go Jackal predicting a Thunder Wave or something like that. And so we just instantly lose Jackal, which sucks. And now we reveal a Colbur Berry. At this point, I also thought that I didn't have Earthquake on this. I guess I just misremembered, given that I hadn't had much practice with the team. And so I think that if I had just gone into Roaring Moon and clicked EQ, there's a decent chance that I ended up killing, and Ice Beam isn't going to take me out. I could probably... maybe I should have just gone hard Roaring Moon, DD one time here, as it Ice Beams me, and I don't die. And then I might have just won. Unless there's more Colbers. Like the Latios didn't even hit the field, and so I have no idea what set it was running. It could have also been Colber, in which case then that would have been stopped. It would have been able to stop the Roaring Moon sweep. So maybe going Cyclozar here is also a mistake on my part, given that I didn't realize that I had Earthquake on Roaring Moon, which sucks. So now we invite in Dragalge. I just go ahead and attempt to take some damage here, but I don't really know what I should have done in this case. As it was a banded Earthquake, it was certainly claiming a KO regardless of what Pokemon I wanted to give it. And so now we're just going ahead and it's going to Flamethrower the Raging Bolt after getting paralyzed. That is the Glow-King here. Volt Switch out into Roaring Moon here because now I know that I have Earthquake. And unfortunately he does decide to pivot out as well, preventing me from setting up. And now I have to sack another Pokemon. It's going to be Solus. And now I don't really have a whole lot of tools to break through the team. And so I have to go for some big damage here with Cyclozar, and unfortunately it sets up a Reflect. I think that maybe in this position I should have just U-turned, fearing that, but yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? I don't think there's necessarily a very easy way to make that call, so it is what it is. Iron Boulder's gonna come in now behind a screen, even though I set up, so it's gonna be able to live and take out Cyclozar, and I make a pretty bad double here. From my POV, knowing that I'm Choppleberry on Archaludon and knowing that I could T-Wave this, and Lostlotl probably also knows that, but he doesn't know about the berry. There was like absolutely no reason for Lostlotl to switch, but from my point of view, I decided that I wanted to hard read the Glow-King coming in on a Thunder Wave. But yeah, in reality, that's just not really a play that Lostlotl had to make in that instance. And so I probably should have just stayed in with my Archaludon, given that it was choice banded. So it would have had to close combat me, and then it would have had to either switch once it gets paralyzed or start like taking damage from foul play and things like that, which is what happens in a couple of turns after I go back into it, after I go back into Archaludon following this turn. But yeah, I probably should have just done that first instead of making this shiesty double and throwing the game essentially, because at this point now Roaring Moon has taken too much damage. It can't set up on Slowking anymore, and so that's going to be essentially game, and at this point I realize I just need to go for a kill. So we go out into Archaludon. Archaludon's going to claim the Iron Boulder. Interesting to see that he's just like so fixated on close combating here, but like at this point I don't think you need to save Iron Boulder, especially from like Thunder Waving, because you have all these tools in the back. If I had to guess, this is probably Scarf, because it didn't click anything other than D-Gleam the entire game. It's probably a Scarf, D-Gleam, Fire move, Psychic move, +1 for coverage, if I had to guess, sort of set. Maybe Trick, something like that, to shut down a stall Pokemon on my side or something like that. And so realistically with that in the back, there was no way that I was ever breaking through regardless, and so it's okay to really just CC here. Lostlotl's in a totally winning position here, even with the Paralyzed coming out and Foul Play going ahead and taking that out. Yeah, so here comes a Delphox. We see Scorching Sands. Oh wait, did it Scorching Sands me here too? No, it did not. Okay, so it actually wasn't Scarf. So I played around that as if it was Scarf the entire game, and it turns out it wasn't, and I didn't even notice until now. So that's unfortunate, but there you go. That's gonna be a unfortunate loss for me. Definitely some mistakes in there. I was pretty foolish not realizing that my Roaring Moon did have Earthquake. I mean, I had the calc open with all of my sets as well, so I could have just seen that it was Earthquake. Of course, you can also hover over the Pokemon and see what moves they have when you're switching to them. So yeah, definitely not my cleanest game overall. But again, I've been busy focusing in on those finals and don't have too much time to really play. And so I'm pretty sure that we're still going to be good to go for a little bit of a playoff run here in the GLCC. And despite the finals getting in the way, I still ended up making it, which is great. Unless I didn't, which would not be great, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure I did. So if I did make it, then I will go ahead and see you guys in the next matchup. Don't know who it is yet because we're actually playing this very early on in the week. We're the first game to be played this week, and so there's a whole lot of moving parts that are yet to settle, and the standings are not confirmed as of right now. So we'll see who we end up playing. We will hopefully have a very good game against them and hopefully try and claim a win, and that'll be our first step on claiming the GLCC's first ever championship trophy. And that's going to be it from me for now. GG's to Lostlotl again. Very well played by him. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, go Seattle Slashers.